Now on 4 News Now at 6, the executive director of Spokane's community-oriented policing tells the city council he's planning to shut them all down at the end of the year. We'll explain what can be done to prevent that from happening.
I'm tracking another storm system on the way, but this one's bringing more than rain. I'll show you when we might see some snow in your First Alert forecast.
And a bike lane is coming to one of North Spokane's busiest roads. We'll show you where it will be built and why one nearby business owner thinks it will be beneficial to students. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Well, a more than 30-year public safety program in Spokane just announced it'll have to close up shop by New Year's Eve. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. For months, we have been telling you about the uncertainty surrounding the future of the cops' shops. In a surprise move today at the rescheduled Spokane City Council meeting, the executive director said without funding approved by the city, he is telling his volunteers and Spokane police officers that the program will run out of money. The community-oriented policing shops were born out of the tragedy of 2 young girls murdered in West Central Spokane more than 30 years ago. And with the city facing a budget shortfall, the shops were put on the chopping block. It's a story we've been investigating for months now. Last year, the city approved $468,000 in funding for the nonprofit. And the nonprofit also received $56,000 from the Department of Corrections and the remainder from private donations. This September, when the executive director, Jeff Johnson, asked to renew that funding, his request was denied by the city council. Here's what he had to say at today's meeting.
So once again, I ask for your help. Our budget is less than $500,000. We see plenty of organizations every day that are being awarded additional money to keep them whole. I ask for the same.
Well, just 2 days ago, I spent several hours at the Shadle Cop Shop. There are 9 cop shops across Spokane. They're staffed by volunteers who are focused on the issues impacting those specific neighborhoods. In some cases, they're asked to do a neighborhood patrol because of a suspicious vehicle, or they might help dust for fingerprints after a car break-in. And since the pandemic, they do admit they've lost some of their volunteers and they're focused on recruiting. I also talked with the Spokane Police Chief, Kevin Hall, about these cop shops, and he told me their goal here is to be fiscally responsible to the taxpayers.
In an RFP, I'm not aware of any other organizations who do what we do. The sole thing we do is crime prevention, and this is clearly a time where that is sorely needed. So
the council did not give a response to Mr. Johnson today because he spoke during a public comment period, but he asked that the item be placed on Monday's city council agenda for discussion. And he also tells me a group of cops volunteers and supporters are planning to meet at that city council meeting on Monday.
That same day on Good Morning Northwest, you can watch Kirsten's special report about the future of cop shops. Well, what you just heard was the key sign that you or someone in your family may be infected with whooping cough. Right now, there's an outbreak of this highly contagious disease across the inland Northwest.
On Tuesday, there was a confirmed outbreak of whooping cough, also known as pertussis, in Spokane County. We told you about that. Here's a look at the most up-to-date case numbers for our area. Today, there are 133 confirmed cases of whooping cough. 6 of these cases have resulted in hospitalizations. At the same time last year, Spokane County had 0 cases. And in all of North Idaho, there have been a total of 278 cases. Mary Sheridan joins us in studio now. So Mary, which kids are most likely to catch this infection from, and who would they be catching it from?
That's a really good question, Kirsten, because even though whooping cough is an infection commonly contracted by children, doctors tell me that adults are more likely to spread it.
And so it's the cough, 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 cough. I cannot catch my breath. And then I suck in and have the whoop where I go, trying to catch my breath.
It's not an easy sound to hear, but the distinct gasp for air in between coughing fits is whooping cough's signature trademark. With an outbreak in Spokane County and case numbers rising in both Washington and Idaho, many families are worried about keeping the infection out of their homes.
Unfortunately, this is one of those things where adults tend to be the people who are transmitting it to others.
Specifically, unvaccinated adults are the most likely to infect those around them. This can be dangerous because serious cases of whooping cough can result in hospitalization. But even if you don't go to the hospital, there's no medication to treat it, and whooping cough can be hard to kick.
We used to call pertussis and still do the 100-day cough. So you may cough until you're out of breath or cough until you have post-tussive emesis for literally 3 months.
If you're unsure if you've updated your DTaP or Tdap vaccine in the last 10 years, it's not a bad idea to get another one.
Very little risk. If you think it's been a really long time, probably safe to go get one right now.
And if you or someone at home has a lingering cough that's making it hard to breathe or has lasted more than 7 days, DeHole says it's a good idea to call your clinic. There, you'll get a rapid test to determine if you have whooping cough. In studio tonight, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
All right, Mary, thank you. The sun poked its head out for the first time in a while, but we have another storm system on the way.
And this next round of wet weather could bring with it some snow. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is tracking when that system is expected to arrive.
That's right. Well, we have a quiet Friday with some patchy morning fog, mostly dry conditions, but then snow moving in late on Saturday, turning into a rain-snow mix, and then eventually all rain on Sunday. Here are our odds of seeing at least 1 inch of snow this weekend. In Spokane right now, it's only 30%. 55% as we head a little bit to the east in Coeur d'Alene, and 80% in Sandpoint, Colville 85%, and Newport 90%. Pullman just 5%. Down in the Palouse, Omak looking pretty good. Here's a look at the forecasted snow. Sandpoint may actually be one of the big winners, in excess of 3 inches of snow. About a ½ inch in Spokane or in Coeur d'Alene, a possibility. Of course, this is just a preliminary forecast. We'll see how that changes as we get closer to the weekend. In the meantime, it was a really pretty day in Spokane, but we have had some showers around the region, particularly in North Idaho. Most of those have tapered off. Still wouldn't rule out an isolated sprinkle or flurry overnight, and even on Friday there is a slight chance. But the main factor in our weather tonight and tomorrow morning is going to be the development of some patchy fog. We'll be in the 30s by 9 o'clock, and watch out for spots on the road where that fog may be freezing to the roadways, or we have a little frost from wet roads refreezing. I will be back with your 7-day forecast to take a much closer look on the potential of snow on the way this weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. 3 years after the body of 19-year-old Andrew Sorensen was found murdered in the trunk of a stolen car in northeast Spokane, the couple responsible now says they're guilty of the crime. Our Hunter Bertram was in court earlier today and brings us to the scene of the intense courtroom.
Yeah, Derek, emotions ran high for Andrew Sorensen's family this afternoon in court, as more than 4 years ago, their son went missing and was never seen alive again. Today, a step in justice, the couple responsible for Sorensen's death, John Eisenman and Brenda Cross, face charges, pleading guilty.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Emotionless and silent, both Brenda Cross and John Eisenman remained after entering their pleas for killing Andrew Sorensen in 2020.
And it indicates the maximum on this charge is life and also a $50,000 fine. You understand that? Yes, I do.
Eisenman pleaded guilty to first-degree murder with a weapon enhancement. Cross pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter. Both could face life in prison. Andrew Sorensen dated John Eisenman's daughter, and after a troubling trip to Seattle, Eisenman confronted the 19-year-old in November 2020, abducting him and putting him in the trunk of his fiancée Cross's car, according to court documents. He then hit Sorensen with a cinder block and stabbed him to death while he was bound by zip ties. When Sorensen's body was found in 2021, Eisenman admitted to the murder, claiming he was high on meth at the time, additionally making claims that would be disproved by investigators. A year later, a co-worker of Cross turned her in after she had allegedly bragged about her part in his murder. In the courtroom, emotions ran high for Sorensen's family as they saw the two responsible for this nightmare. After the hearing, I spoke with Andrew Sorensen's mom, Teresa. She told me they look forward to the sentencing set Thursday for January 16th. In studio, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, Hunter, thank you. Well, one of the men accused of killing a man from Julietta while on the run from police in Idaho could face the death penalty if convicted. Nicholas Umfenauer was accused of killing James Monty after helping an inmate escape police custody in Boise. The state saying the death penalty is appropriate in this case because of Umfenauer's complete lack of regard for Monty's life. Umfenauer will be back in court for his arraignment on December the 12th. Well, thousands of gun deals in Washington are currently stuck in limbo.
What's causing the delays and what steps are being taken to fix them coming up?
With the court system down here in Washington state, the wait list to be approved for a firearm is growing by the day. We'll explain here after the break.
And revitalizing downtown Spokane. Could the city's oldest buildings be the secret to drawing more residents to the heart of the city? See how one group is transforming these historic spaces into affordable homes and the impact it could have on overall safety. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Save your greed! We're not brother and sister.
We're not husband and wife.
She's not my daughter.
He's not just arm candy.
Hey.
What we are, we're advocates.
And so if you've been injured, we fight for you.
You deserve more than just a law firm.
You deserve an advocate.
Elegance, style, quality, custom made for your project. Agalite shower doors and bath enclosures by River City Glass are designed for a lifetime of use. Timeless beauty that speaks for itself with superior quality and exceptional value. Offering exquisite custom wine room enclosures and office room glass, specializing in custom mirrors crafted to fit your space. Producing high-performance glass for every project, residential and commercial. River City Glass.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value, plus no monthly payments until next year.
Shop Pink Friday deals at Dave Smith.
Over 20 million fans have made Trans-Siberian Orchestra their holiday tradition. Bring the whole family and make it part of yours. The Lost Christmas Eve live in concert. Friday, November 22nd, Spokane Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketswest.com. The return of Trans-Siberian Orchestras. The Lost Christmas Eve. Produced by Live Nation.
Donnie, the advocates excel in car, truck, and motorcycle cases, resulting in millions of dollars for our clients.
That makes me sad.
Sad? Why sad?
Just thinking about the ones that don't bring their cases to us.
Oh, that is sad.
Welcome back. Downtown Spokane certainly has its issues right now with homelessness, drugs, and crime. But could the key to breathing new life into downtown lie within its historic past?
I talked to developers who believe downtown is worth saving, and a big step in its revitalization could come in renovating some very old buildings.
We're old building people. You know, we love old buildings. It's part of like the character of downtown.
Renovating old buildings is what Chris Batten and his company Rencore Realty do. You said another 8 units on this floor?
Yeah.
And you're probably familiar with his work.
We've got the old Huppins and Dutches, Madelines and Durkins. Those are some obvious ones people know these days. But we did the Numerica building. I was telling you, we call that the 1953 box.
Batten's newest project is here at the old Wharton building on West First Avenue. Built in 1901, it once housed Spokane Paper Company and later an Elks Lodge. In the 90s, it was rebuilt to house the restaurant Tie On First.
You know, this is a really unique block. I think it's the only one downtown, maybe not, but where you have the original storefronts all the way through.
It'll have a bookstore cafe and a Korean restaurant on the street level.
And then upstairs, we're going to have 17 one-and studio loft-style apartments.
Batten believes one of the keys to bringing downtown back to life is to get more people living downtown. Having more people downtown will make it more vibrant and, in turn, safer. Josh Hissong also believes Spokane needs more people living downtown. As the founder of HDG Architecture, he's designed residential units downtown.
And I think that the community in downtown is ready to shift and pivot to whatever they need to do in order to revitalize it.
He says right now, downtown buildings are about 95% commercial retail. He believes getting that closer to a 50-50 split between commercial and residential is key.
And that way you can withstand any sort of economic woe that occurs because you have people living downtown, going to the mall, going to Wooden City and Nudo and all the restaurants.
But renovating an old building is costly. In fact, it costs quite a bit more than starting from scratch and building new.
Huge expenditure to bring a building up to code for life and safety, and that is like proper exiting, egress on a building. You need to have two separate full staircases going through one of these old brick buildings, which is difficult with the way that they were built. Then you have sprinkler systems, you have energy compliance.
But in renovating other old buildings, Batten has learned to leverage tax incentives and credits. The Wharton building received a rebate from the state's new commercial building conversion program passed earlier this year and now being touted by the city of Spokane's Planning and Economic Development Department.
This is the first building in the state to get awarded that program, so we won't pay sales tax on the cost of the construction. So converting this old building makes sense.
The Wharton will be on the National Register of Historic Properties, so he'll get a federal tax credit as well. And while the incentives are a good start, Hissong thinks the city can do even more to help developers.
They also have to take some of the money that they're allocated by the state and federal level and decide to help with these developers to make these buildings retrofitted.
Batten says the city also needs to enforce all of its laws to clean up downtown's issues with homelessness, drugs, and crime.
There are certain laws that aren't necessarily being enforced maybe as aggressively as they could be. And it's a complicated conversation, obviously.
Right now, Spokane only has about 1,400 apartments downtown, so it needs a lot more to bring it back to life.
I think there's momentum right now to say, hey, we need 1,000 new units in the next 3 to 5 years. So, I mean, that adds to the livability, the safety, and the security of downtown.
But Batten believes that number is doable, just like he believes in the benefits of preserving and renovating Spokane's oldest buildings.
And so people get to know these buildings, they get to love these buildings, and they're definitely worth saving and making sure they're there for the next generation.
I think that's so true. One of the things I love most about Spokane is the history. And there are a lot of people here who really enjoy just going on tours to see all the history that we have downtown.
And there's so many downtown Spokane buildings with that brick, right, that you don't want to lose that in the character of downtown. And by the way, that bookstore cafe in the Wharton building will be called Jupiter's Eye, and the Korean restaurant will be called Gangnam Style. They should both be open after the first of the year.
Can't wait.
What a great story. Thank you, Derek. High temperatures today, 50 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. What a beautiful day. We are going to be cooler tomorrow. Some patchy morning fog, a high of 43. Then we start to see some wet weather moving in partway through the weekend. I'll explain after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Bounced from one doctor to the next. Did they even send my lab work? Wait, was I supposed to bring that? Then there's the forms, the bills, the nada bills, the... Press forward and repeat these options.
Healthcare can get a whole lot easier when your medical records, care, and coverage are in one place. At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together for all that is you.
4
News Now and STCU are proud to continue highlighting volunteers who go above and beyond with their efforts. STCU Volunteers Count is a project that awards groups and individuals who take volunteering to the next level, donating personal time and financial support to local nonprofits. The winning volunteers will be awarded a grant courtesy of STCU to help further their efforts, and then we'll tell their story. If you know of a local volunteer who deserves recognition, nominate them at KXLY.com.
Right now, get a free tankless water heater with every full HVAC system purchase. Call Bills today.
So, boss man, what are we doing today?
Oh, just annual maintenance.
Annual maintenance?
Yeah, the yearly tune-up to keep the heating and cooling stuff running. Wait, you do get tune-ups on your HVAC equipment, right?
Any chance you can come by my house after this and check out my system?
It's one hot topic. Women taking testosterone, sharing their stories on TikTok.
I didn't even know that women could benefit from testosterone.
Could it work for you?
I feel a world of difference.
Tomorrow morning.
It's changed my life so much.
On Good Morning America.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Welcome back. It was sunny today.
Yeah, pretty nice day, really, right? Especially considering what we have had the last few days.
Yes, and we have some more nice weather coming, and then things are going to switch halfway through the weekend. Let's start with a time lapse of today's pretty weather. Some sunshine, high temperatures above average, pretty clouds. Now, this was the view in Spokane. Not everyone had this day. We had plenty of shower activity around the region, especially through North Idaho. So if you did not have this view, I see you out there. Now, tracking our weather pattern, we are going to be mostly dry over the next 24 hours. Still the possibility of a hit or miss shower. It won't last long if you do see any wet weather. For the most part, we are staying dry. Here's Friday at 5 o'clock. All of the rain and snow, and it's mostly snow, is off to the south and east. As we go through Friday night and then Saturday, here's Saturday at 8 o'clock. We're going to spend the first part of Saturday with dry conditions. However, once we get into the late afternoon, more likely the evening, this system moves through. And because of the timing, you can see we're in the blue from right about Spokane and points to the north with the snow. Rain further to the south. As we get into Sunday morning, then here's Sunday at 5 a.m. We're already starting to transition back over to rain, and that will be the case through the day on Sunday as our snow level really climbs. This is our snow level forecast. We're going to be down around 3,500 feet on Friday, and then down to around 2,000 feet as we get into Friday night and Saturday. Up to 5,000 Sunday, and then right back down to 2,000 feet on Monday. Just to remind you of the snow levels, all the mountain passes are going to be 3,000 feet and above. Moscow's 2,500, and then Coeur d'Alene is about 2,100. Right in downtown Spokane, we're at 18, but once you get to the top of the South Hill, we're more in the 2,300-foot range. A winter storm watch is in effect for Saturday all the way through Monday for the Washington passes, mountain passes, and there is going to be some snow not only on those passes, but on the passes to the east as well. 2 to 4 inches on 4th of July, a foot plus on Lookout Pass this weekend. So the snow comes in late on Saturday into Sunday, turns all to rain as we warm up to 45 degrees. Then we're going to be seeing a little bit of rain or snow here and there through the forecast. I don't see any shoveling to be done in this forecast, mostly just a preview of the winter weather on the way. Kirsten.
All right, Chris, thank you. Local school districts want to change how often you have to vote on levies.
Why some superintendents say it will be better for you and your kids coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The holidays. And holiday trips. And
holiday toys, and holiday bonding. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Plus, get $3,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Sandpoint Furniture, the name that has always been synonymous with high-quality home furnishings matched with sensible pricing. Our customers from all over the Northern Panhandle and the Spokane area have discovered that it's well worth their time to make the trip to our beautiful showroom to find just the piece that they've been looking for. You'll also love our friendly, experienced sales staff who can show you all the unique choices that our 30,000 square foot store has to offer. And Sandpoint Furniture has a reliable delivery service, a first-rate install team as well. So make that drive to Sandpoint Furniture. They've been making your house a home for almost 80 years now.
This is important information from AARP and BECU. November is National Family Caregivers Month, a month to showcase the important work that more than 820,000 Washingtonians do every day to take care of our loved ones at home where they want to be. You may not think of yourself as a caregiver, but if you're helping someone with daily activities like getting dressed, managing medication, and providing transportation to and from appointments, then you are a caregiver, and help is available. Find tools and tips at this website.
Hot tubs, hot tubs, hot tubs. The Hot Tub Swim Spa Expo is at all 4 Pool World locations this weekend only. Hundreds of hot tubs from the world's leading brands like Hot Spring Hot Tubs, all discounted. Hot tubs as low as $79 a month. 0% financing, save thousands. Swim spas up to $10,000 off. Saunas as low as $79 a month. Hot tubs, swim spas, and saunas up to 40% off. Come save thousands this weekend at all 4 Pool World locations. HotTubExpoSpokane.com.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Spokane, the most amazing care anywhere.
Well, thousands of gun purchases are in limbo in Washington as officials are racing to get the state's court system back online.
There's optimism that could happen next week. Jordan Smith explains how this outage is impacting prospective gun owners and the businesses selling to them.
The standard waiting period to purchase a firearm in Washington state is 10 business days. But with the court system down, that process has been halted for an indeterminate amount of time.
No person that has bought a firearm as of November 1st has been approved in the state of Washington.
Jeremy Ball is one of thousands growing frustrated by this lingering outage. On average, Washington State Patrol sifts through about 700 background checks per day. That'd mean a minimum of about 10,000 background checks have stacked up in the 2 weeks the system has been offline. Now, customers aren't pulling the trigger to buy a new gun, unsure when this outage will end. Retailers like Jeremy starting to feel the pinch and growing anxious as the holiday season approaches.
If this continues and Washington can't get this under control, there's going to be a lot of very, very frustrated people and a lot of very damaged businesses.
We've had a lot of people who are very angry.
Chris Loftus with Washington State Patrol is empathetic to the anger brewing from vendors and buyers alike. WSP's verification system is linked through the courts. Their hands are tied.
There's no other workaround. There's no other way that we can do this to get the same sort of information. It has to go through this system. So when this system is down, the entire system is down.
But there's a light at the end of the tunnel, or at least cautious optimism of one. The Administrative Office of the Courts, or AOC, is hopeful to have the system back online by Monday. In the meantime, WSP is doing what it can to streamline these background checks once the system is up and running.
There's more to the background check than just this data repository that has to be accessed. We're optimistic that once the system comes back online, we're going to be able to process things pretty quickly.
For 4 News Now, I'm Jordan Smith.
Well, start sharpening those skis and snowboards because another local ski resort just announced when it plans to open for the season.
We'll tell you when you can start carving the mountain at 49 degrees north coming up.
And many skiers looking forward to a snowy La Nina winter this season, but we might want to pump the brakes on that. New information on the forecast for this winter coming up at 6:30.
And a bike lane is coming to one of North Spokane's busiest roads, why nearby businesses are excited about having more cyclists on Division. Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
That's Montana Sapphire from Phillipsburg, Montana.
The dryer still isn't working. What are we going to do before the holidays?
Swing into Fred's Appliance today for our Black Friday Super Sale and experience unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. This 2-in-1 removable agitator lets you choose how you wash and care for your clothes with 2 ways to wash. It's twice the washer you have at home. Get it today and save $500 on the Whirlpool Hybrid Washer Dryer Pair. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
This November, stay for less and play for more at the Kootenai Casino. It's time for an autumn getaway. Now is the perfect opportunity to come stay and win. Call us now to book your room starting at just $79 midweek and $99 weekends at the beautiful Kootenai Falls Lodge. And join us for a $10,000 giveaway, Tournament Tuesdays, and November Hot Spins. Put some extra stuffing in your pockets this November, only at the Kootenai Casino. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
Next ET.
I am on set of Blake Shelton's new music video for Texas.
It's an ET exclusive.
Sure is.
Plus,
it's ET from Disneyland.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
What do you got on your list?
MeTV is making a list, and you can check it twice. Go to MeTV.com for the full list of our very merry MeTV holiday programming.
Watch over the air in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene on MeTV 4.2. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, one of Spokane's busiest roads could soon become more pedestrian and bicycle friendly. The Washington State Department of Transportation is planning on adding a bike lane on Division Street.
It would start at Country Homes Boulevard, as you can see on the map here, and then go north to Farwell Road. Madeline Mullins spoke to business owners about why they're excited for this project. Madeline?
Division is a very busy road, not one that I would want to be walking or biking around on. And that's because there are no bike lanes and the sidewalks here are very narrow. But to fix this project will hopefully make it safer for pedestrians and bikers.
Shirley Sundstrom works at Fantastic Sam's on Division. She says customers not being able to get to their shop is the biggest complaint.
They have trouble getting here, they have trouble with the light, the traffic, all that stuff. So
she says she is excited that this project will make it easier for everyone using the streets.
It's safer, it's going to be more people friendly, it's just going to be an all-around good thing.
This project is part of Complete Streets, a requirement that was set by the Washington State Legislature for any state-funded projects. This project on Division originally started as a road paving project, but now has to follow Complete Street requirements, making it comfortable for everyone.
And we're going to be doing bike and pedestrian improvements both along that corridor and across that corridor.
Those improvements look like adding a bike path that is separated from the road by a curb, adding flashing lights above pedestrian crosswalks, and protected intersections.
It really helps give each mode their space and helps especially bikes get through intersections in a more predictable and protected fashion.
Sundstrom says that making the streets safer is the biggest thing and benefits everyone.
The kids, to and from school safely, getting the customers that they'll want to come down here because it's going to be a lot easier to access with the traffic and all that.
Yeah.
project is still in the planning phase, and the design is expected to be done for this project in July. But until then, they are accepting input from the community. And if you would like to leave any input or suggestions, you can do that on the Department of Transportation's website. Live in Spokane, I'm Madeline Mullins for News Now.
All right, Madeline, thank you. You are looking at pictures now of all the snow at 49 degrees north. Many of you have been wondering over the last few weeks when crews plan to start firing up the chairlifts. Well, the wait is almost over. 49 says it will open for the season next Friday. 8 more days. All right. Well, we have not seen any snow down here in the valleys. We have seen plenty of rain over the last few days.
That soon will be changing, though. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, tracking another storm system on the way.
That is right. Now, it is more than, about 48 hours away still, but we are looking at our first pretty good chance of snow down in the valleys. Our Friday planner wouldn't rule out an isolated sprinkle or two, but for the most part, we are staying dry with a mix of sun and clouds, some patchy fog to start the day, and a high temperature of 43. 43 is exactly average, and we're going to spend most of the day Saturday with dry conditions. But I want to pick up our computer model at 5 o'clock on Saturday, and we start to see that snow building across the region through the overnight into Sunday morning. Most locations will have less than an inch of snow, but there's the potential for some higher amounts. I want to zoom in on the Spokane area and show you Deer Park, over an inch of snow, over 2 inches of snow in Spirit Lake. Of course, these are preliminary forecasts. This may need tweaked quite a bit between now and the time. Right in downtown Spokane, even a little bit of snow. And then this big navy blue dot right here with the heavy snow is Mount Spokane. A reminder of how fast that winter is approaching, and we're looking forward to some snow. But this La Nina winter may not end up as snowy as we think, according to Matt Gray.
That's right. Taking in some new information, wanted to share it with you because we've been waiting all year for La Nina to arrive. And I believe that with this new information, it means that we should not look at this year's La Nina as a major factor in how our winter plays out. Now, as a reminder, for some background, La Nina is below average cooling of the East Pacific Ocean. The stronger this feature is, the more that it influences the weather that happens around it, and that in turn ripples out to changes in weather patterns around the world. Your skier friends, and Chris and myself, we get excited about La Nina because historically we see colder, snowier weather here in the inland Northwest. However, this year's La Nina looks more and more likely to be extremely weak and extremely short-lived. That was the key message today from the Climate Prediction Center's monthly report on the La Nina/El Nino cycle. Now, the graph behind me here shows a series of computer simulations that try to predict this cycle, and here is the overall average of those computer models in this orange line. It barely dips into the La Nina territory here this winter. But what does that mean for us in a practical sense? Well, if you know the effects of a particular pattern, but it's pretty weak, it's reasonable that you should not put as much weight into that if it was stronger. And all you have to do is look at recent history to see this influence. So there have been 3 short and fairly weak La Nina events, kind of like we're expecting this season. One of these had the most snow on record for Spokane in 2008-2009. One had the 14th least amount of snow on record, and the other was above average, similar to what we had a couple of years ago. So it certainly could still be snowy this winter, but we have to consider all of the possibilities and not set our expectations too high just because La Nina is in play for us this year.
All right, Matt, thank you. We'll start sharpening your blades because ice skating returns to Riverfront Park this weekend. The New America Skate Ribbon will open for the season on Saturday. Tickets are about $10 for anyone over 13 and about $7 for kids. Children 2 and under skate for free. Keep in mind, though, those prices do not include your skate rentals. For more on the skate ribbon, including what hours it's open, you can look for this story on KXLY.com. Now, ice skating also returns to McEwen Park in Coeur d'Alene this weekend. CVA on Ice will be holding its soft opening tomorrow. You can do a few laps around the rink, sip some hot cocoa, and if skating is not your thing, you can also rent out one of their igloos there as well.
I've always wanted to do that. And if skiing and snowboarding is really your jam, you might want to check out the ski swap happening at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds this weekend. There you can find a whole bunch of new and used equipment, everything from skis, binding, helmets, and goggles. Admission is free. Doors open Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Well, Idaho school districts are hoping to take the pressure off of voters by changing how often they can put levies on the ballot.
The current system only allows levies that last 1 year, 2 years, or forever. Derek Strom spoke with North Idaho superintendents about why the system needs to change.
2 years is just too frequent.
Coeur d'Alene schools are leading the charge in changing the way levies work in the state of Idaho. Superintendent Dr. Sean Hawker says putting a levy on the ballot every 2 years feels like the district is constantly asking for a handout from voters. Under a new proposal, districts would be able to pick how long their levy will last, anywhere between 1 and 6 years.
20 months ago, our school district did ask our community to support a perpetual levy, so a forever levy, and that was narrowly defeated. So it was close, but the biggest common conversation we heard is there not something in between 2 years and 6 years? And
the Coeur d'Alene School District, as well as many other school districts around Idaho, are hoping that state legislators will now take up this issue and help change the levy system at the state level. Dr. Hawker says he recently presented the plan to a group of Idaho legislators that came to Coeur d'Alene. He hopes they'll bring this issue to the 2025 legislative session, which starts on January 6th, but other districts hope to see even broader changes to the way Idaho funds education.
We're trying to get out of the business of having run levies. We want the state to fully fund public education. That is the real message.
The Post Falls School District Superintendent says the current funding system from the state uses attendance, not enrollment. That system makes it more difficult to fund activities like sports and music. Those programs are usually covered by local levies. That's because state law does not require districts to fund those programs and classes.
We lose $20,974 a day, so almost $21,000 a day, that it should be operational funding provided by the state because of our funding formula.
In North Idaho, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, Washington State men's basketball has won their first 3 games of the season and are now headed on the road.
Yeah, Cougs will face their first big test of the year against the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, the Cougs get the chance to build a strong resume early and get their 4th win of the season, but of course, it's not going to come easily in Big Ten country. We can hear from head coach David Riley on the game after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
ABC News, honored for excellence with 41 Emmy nominations, the most of any news organization anywhere. Thank you for making ABC News America's #1 news.
During our Veterans Day event, save up to $14,500 or 0% APR on a new Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Denali. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles, and ask about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
I use my phone for everything, and now with my Ascend checking from P1FCU, I can do even more. I can deposit checks and easily make payments with my mobile wallet. And when my clumsiness gets the best of me and my phone finally does break, I get free cell phone insurance with my Ascend checking too.
Open your P1FCU checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today.
I'm Chad Young from the EasyHomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With the EasyHomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Santa returns to River Park Square on Saturday, November 23rd, presented by STCU. Festivities begin at 3 o'clock, and Santa arrives to light the tree at 5.
with special guest appearances by the Ferris Dance Team, Cheney High School Choir, the wonderful Mrs. Claus, and so much more. Visit riverparksquare.com to plan your Holly Jolly holiday season and to reserve your time for Santa photos. Enjoy the magic of the season at River Park Square.
Bounce from one doctor to the next. Does it have to be like this?
At Kaiser Permanente, we have a different kind of health care.
So, how did you like that?
Where all of us work together for all that is you.
During our Veterans Day event, save up to $8,500 off or 3.9% APR on a new Sierra 2500 HD Pro. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles, and ask about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
Gonzaga will play another game at home this week, and after huge wins against a ranked Baylor team and a tough Arizona State squad, a matchup against UMass Lowell is looking promising for the Zags to start their season 3-0. The Zags have averaged over 94 points in their first 2 games, and that is not expected to waver in their game against the Riverhawks. The Bulldogs are one of 5 teams in the WCC that are still undefeated in non-conference play. So if everything goes as planned tomorrow night, the Zags will start out 3-0 before their first road game. Tip-off against UMass Lowell is at 6 o'clock Friday night inside McCarthy Athletic Center. And the women are playing inside there right now. They're taking on an undefeated Cal team. They've chalked up a win and a loss so far and are hoping they can flip their record to a winning one back at home. At last check, I've got the score at 32-22 with just a couple minutes left in the second quarter. With Washington State playing as a part of the WCC this season, the Cougs are one of the teams that are actually ahead of the Zags in conference standings right now. Of course, we're just a few games into the season, but the Cougars are already a 3-win team. They're headed to Big Ten country to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes in their first road game of the season, which surely won't be an easy one.
They're very well coached. They're tough. They're physical. It's going to be a great challenge for us. And, you know, for us, this is what we want. We want to go to get tested in the preseason, see where we're at. We feel like we have a team that can go to the NCAA tournament. Well, this is probably an NCAA tournament team we're going to go play. So let's go face the challenge.
The Cougs have already showcased 3 high-powered offensive performances so far this season, averaging over 93 points through those 3 games. A win against a Big Ten team would be a huge non-conference win for Washington State. Tip-off is at 5:30 Pacific time. Well, playing on the road is always going to add another challenge, no matter the opponent. And even though New Mexico has been a little inconsistent this season, the Cougars aren't taking any away game lightly. In fact, when wide receiver Kyle Williams walks into the Lobos Stadium, he plans to make himself right at home.
I like to walk in your house and take over your house. You know, I like to make a sandwich inside your house, then go home. So those type of games is fun.
Well, obviously, Williams wants more than a sandwich. The Cougs need a substantial win. Washington State has to be the dominant team in their last 3 games to keep themselves in any conversation surrounding the college football playoffs. Of course, that starts with a win against the Lobos this Saturday. Kickoff is 6:30 in Albuquerque. Definitely a good probability for them to win out the rest of their season, too. They've got Oregon State and Wyoming left, and the rest is out of their hands as far as the postseason goes.
I tell you what, I've been looking into New Mexico a little bit. You got the altitude. They got a really good coach. Their quarterback has run for more yards than John Mateer.
Oh. Jake Dickert said they were well coached, so he's aware.
Yeah, that's a little bit worrisome, at least.
At least it'll be a good game.
Yeah, for sure. Sydney, thank you so much.
We have some cold nights ahead in the forecast. Below average temperatures and below freezing just about every day. Watch out for those slick spots on the road. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
I think it's important for us as tribal people to educate and inform others as to who we are and what we're about. We have a beautiful culture that we respect our lands, we respect our waters.
Our medical center serves Indian and non-Indian. We were the first one in the nation to do that.
We built the $25 million core center for the children.
We also house the Boys and Girls Club out of there.
Our employees here are friendly. It gives you that welcome home feeling.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value. Plus, no monthly payments until next year. See your local GMC dealer.
We aren't just HVAC specialists. We're a Lennox Premier dealer. That means we offer the most energy-efficient products on the market, with savings you can see and perfect air you can feel. Your comfort is our passion, and we're with you every breath of the way. Enjoy greater comfort and lower energy costs. Call us today and save on Lennox with special incentives and rebates.
Call Norco Heating and Air today.
What is a jewelry design center? It's a growing family-owned business with nearly half a century and 3 generations of jewelry making experience. A team of artists, craftsmen, and professionals who love what they do. A full on-site manufacturing shop available to the public for repairs and custom requests of all kinds. A center for free polish and inspection, even if you didn't buy it from us. We are not your average jewelry store. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
All right, welcome back. As we mentioned earlier, got to see a little bit of the sun today. It was kind of nice.
Nice and warm compared to other days.
Yes, it was a beautiful day, and we're going to start to see some changes, of course, including snow. But reflecting briefly on today with that sunshine, we got up to 50 degrees. 43 is our average high. Look where we started the day, 42 degrees. 31 is our average overnight low. We're actually going to be below average going forward. I want to point out our sunset time now at 4:14. Awfully early. If you are new to the area, it gets as early as 3:58 in December. So we've got a ways to go. It gets dark early around here. I showed you our low temperature trend right before the break. This is our high temperature trend, a little bit different. We are going to be right about average tomorrow, a little below Saturday, quite a bit above on Sunday, and that's where we'll see that transition from snow to all rain on Sunday. If you get any snow overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, I would count on it melting through the day on Sunday. Then we're back down in the 30s and then back up above average. So quite a little roller coaster here. No huge swings one way or another, but above freezing for our highs. Our temperature trend November 22nd through the 28th is calling for above average temperatures, but we're just in this first color of orange. So no big warm-ups, it does not appear, but we do have warmer than average temperatures on the way. Tracking our weather patterns, starting off at our current time, we do still have the possibility of a few sprinkles or flurries in North Idaho over the next 24 hours, but most of the wet weather is staying to our south and east. Here is 5 o'clock on Friday. As we go through Friday and into Saturday, we're staying dry. Saturday at 8 a.m., it's going to be a cold start. And here comes the next system bringing snow across the Cascades and snow from Spokane all the way to the Canadian border and to a lesser extent down onto the Palouse. By the time we're into Sunday, we're warming up Sunday. We're going to see the transition from snow back to rain and then rain for most of the day on Sunday. Our snow level drops down as low as 2,000 feet as we get into Friday night and Saturday, but then it's right back up to 5,000 feet Sunday, and then it drops again on Monday. We are expecting some heavy mountain snow, and that does include the passes, some tricky pass travel over the weekend, primarily the second half of the weekend. If you go over to the western side of the state on Saturday, you might be in pretty good shape, but getting home might get a little messy. There is a winter storm watch there. Meanwhile, our odds of at least 1 inch of snow this weekend, not that great in most Valley locations. Spokane, only 30%, only 5% in Pullman, 5% in Omak. A little bit higher around Coeur d'Alene, 55%, and 80% in Bonners Ferry. Your chance of precipitation on Sunday is 100%, but it is going to be in the form of rain and then a little bit of rain-snow mix here and there. But I don't think we're going to need our shovels or snow blowers for a little while yet.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, the most wonderful time of the year is just around the corner.
The Salvation Army of Spokane is getting into the spirit by hosting its Corporate Kettle Kickoff. You'll hear the bells ringing. Local businesses are going all out by bell ringing at grocery stores and making sure those red kettles are nice and full of your change. The money that is collected will fund everything the Salvation Army does to support people in need all through the year. Captain David Kane says the list of people they help has grown and includes families who are still recovering from the Gray and Oregon Road fires.
Many families are working to rebuild their lives slowly at a slower pace than they might be comfortable with. So there's so much need, and we want to make sure that we are doing the most good for our community.
And right now, the Salvation Army also has angel trees set up at stores like Walmart and JCPenney. You can make a kid's Christmas wish come true by buying clothes and toys off of their holiday wish list.
That was our general sales manager, Mike, out there ringing that bell, by the way. Before we go to a break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value. Plus, no monthly payments until next year.
Shop Pink Friday deals at Dave Smith.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
Valuables on the ground. Hands in the air. Congratulations. You're all under arrest.
This is Officer Brandon in pursuit of a suspect.
911, all new tonight on ABC.
Moving day never goes smoothly, does it? Let's just settle this little mishap.
Who do we always see on the billboards again?
It's the one call that's all, guys.
You deserve to be compensated fairly for everything you've had to go through.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
When it comes to remodeling your bath, there's fact and there's fiction. Fiction, it's too expensive to remodel your bath. Fact, with Bathfitter's hundreds of design options, you'll get the bath you want to fit your budget. Fiction, bath remodels take forever and tear the house apart. Fact, Bathfitter installation takes just 1 day to fit your schedule. Get the bath that fits you. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
4 News Now anchors, not just in the newsroom, but in the community, doing the work, listening to you, asking questions to help keep your family safe. We're the people you trust on your screens and in your neighborhood. We'll always be there on 4 News Now.
Hey, Luke, I am so excited to host the CMA Awards again.
Nashville, here we come.
Hang tight, honey, got a pocket full of money, and I'm headed straight home to you.
Landy, what are you doing here?
I'm hosting the CMA Awards with y'all. I think I can add something you ain't never had before.
Like what?
Like humor, style, a little bell-bottom flair.
I guess we do need you, Landy.
That's the spirit. Y'all ready to do this?
I can pull off bell bottoms.
Sure you can, buddy.
Mostly dry on Friday with some patchy morning fog and then wet weather coming in Saturday night.
Okay, and be ready for that possibility of rain or snow.
Yes.
We will see you for Nightside at 11.